Ladies and gentlemen, I am deeply humbled to have my friend Eli from the Heritage Tribute on today. We're going to be nerding out on backpacks. This is a real backpack talk, the first one I've ever had in my life. And I have gathered around me several examples that we're going to talk about, including some pieces, some historical pieces that I've wanted to dedicate videos to for well over a year now. I haven't gotten around to it. So, Eli, welcome back to the channel, my
Thank
friend.
you.
So happy to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you. So happy. I think, Dale, that from my point of view, of course, the best companion for a good heritage pair of boots is a backpack or a bag, a heritage backpack or a bag. I mean, one can argue that maybe, denim or jackets or maybe hats, cigars, whiskey, I don't know, maybe all together. But I think it is essential to have a good bag or backpack made of, old-time materials like waxed canvas, and which for me is the next best thing after leather, and or leather. So what
Right.
do you think?
Yes, absolutely. That's what got me to start Dale's Leatherworks to begin with, was I was looking for a backpack made out of the same leather that my all my prized boots were made out of, right? I'm like, why don't people make good backpacks out of like Horween leather or Charles F. Stead Rambler or some of the other
Right.
leathers that I really grew to become a fan of? And then finally on Etsy, I found one shop, and it was this lady out of New York City. She made Chrome Excel. She
Wow.
calls it the hipster backpack. And this was my first real backpack. I don't use it anymore. It is
Nice.
retired. It is a it is a historic relic by this point. What's interesting is she said the whole thing was Chrome Excel. This obviously the body's the Chrome Excel. This front flap, the shoulder straps, and all the accessories are actually Horween Essex leather, which is a veg
Oh,
tan.
nice.
Yeah, yeah. So it's aged beautifully. I did have one point of failure on the bag. You could see here. So
Yep.
I learned I had to repair that, and then from there I said, you know what? Why don't I just? I keep looking at this thing. I carry it around every day. I'm like, can I just make one of these?
So that's how you started.
Yeah, that's how I started. I just like Bob Lazar at Area 51 reverse engineered the alien aircraft. Um, I reverse
Wow.
engineered the backpack.
Nice. It's really thick though, huh?
Yeah, yeah, it's thick, it's nice, it's heavy. I like heavy personally. I like a heavy heritage boot, and for
Right.
that reason, I wanted a heavy leather backpack to go with it. And so that was sort of my vision. And since getting deeper into it, I appreciate a backpack is like a boot. You could approach it any number of ways,
Right.
really. Like with a boot, you could go plain toe,
Yep.
you could go decorative, like a wingtip. You could go just standard cap toe. You could decorate that up with a perforation on the cap toe. Sky's the limit. But when it comes to backpacks, it's a similar thing. I don't need to tell you, like the women's bag industry is massive. I mean,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you got all the luxury brands, the Coach, the Yves Saint Laurent, the Ralph Lauren.
There
What's
are
the
so many. There
Yeah,
are so many. Yeah.
and
And yeah, so I agree with you. And as for the heritage makers out there right now, there are a lot, right? But at the same phenomenon happens with those backpacks, heritage backpacks and bags makers, as they do as it happens with the boot makers. They don't get much exposure, and it's more like niche um focus thing. I also have a few backpacks I want to show you. Maybe starting with my favorite. I think right now one of those brands that I'm really digging and enjoying is Bleu De Chauffe from France. You own a backpack from them, right?
yes,
And Je suis désolé, my French pronunciation is terrible, but yeah, that one, the woolly backpack, yeah.
yes, yes, that's the
I
one.
I find I find Bleu de Chauffe one of the best heritage makers out there.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. That's in fact we do. I believe we have the same. Um, is that the 30 liters or the 25?
I think this is 30. Pretty
30,
sure.
yeah. So we do. Yeah, we have the same. I have the same here. Um,
Nice.
yeah. I mean, this thing is
Beautiful.
beautiful, right? And the materials, the design, so simple, so straightforward. So,
Yes.
I think you can't get more heritage than that, than
Right.
this, right? It's just a, it's just a hole, right? It's a big hole right here. And
Yes.
then, but then there's something about the cuts, the design, the hardware, the materials that makes this back part of the backpack is it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
just amazing. This thing back here, I love it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Um,
I call it the anchor point.
oh yeah. I
This,
think it's clever, simple, right?
yeah. Yeah. No, for reference, I'm not a formally trained leather worker. I attended the University of YouTube to learn how to leather
Well,
work. And
all of
so,
us are right there. Yeah.
yes, yes.
Um,
Just like in boot making, a lot of these terms that I'm going to be using today, I made up myself.
it's good to know that we're on the same page
Yeah, yeah,
when it comes to
absolutely.
this kind of terms. And sorry for those, professionals that really do know this stuff, but
Mhm.
we love it, and I think we also deserve a space to talk about this thing. So
Yeah.
so this is one of the so I love this brand so much. This was the first I got, the 30 liters. Then
Okay.
I went ahead and got another one, which was the 25 liters, because I said, all right, this thing is too big. And then I got this one in
Okay.
a dark olive kind of green. Man, this thing is so tough and rough, and
Yeah.
so these materials, this is waxed, stone waxed canvas or something like that. It's not the usual waxed canvas you see around. It's stone washed. And
Right.
they use this stuff to renovate the rooftops of the Jeep Willys, the famous vehicle from World War II, the
Yeah.
Jeep Willys.
Yeah.
There is only one maker in the world that uses this material right now, and it's in France. Now they don't
Interesting.
talk much about what's the name of the company of the factory that or the maker of this wax material, but it is the only one in the world. And then
Yeah.
they combine this really hard washed stone canvas with veg tan leather, which is, I mean, really thick and nice. I
Sweet.
love this backpack. I love the features. I think it's really versatile. What they
Yeah.
do with its simplicity is also one of the main characteristics, I think, and the benefits is that it has like a system of buckles, right? That you can remove a pouch and then insert like a laptop carry pouch or something.
Yeah.
I think it's clever. It's nice. And the touch that the only maker, the one person that goes through the whole process of making this bag actually signs the final product, which
Yeah.
is, I think, awesome and
Right.
so cool. Yeah.
You're right about that. Yeah, here's what he's talking about. So it's got this internal pouch, and on there's a name. I can read it now. Javier.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then the date, oh man, it's just something nice. You see?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the human touch. That's what
The
I like
human touch. Exactly. Yeah.
in my garments. Yeah.
The human touch and the attention to detail, everything from inside out of this design, and it's just amazing. Then
Yes.
the second thing that I got from them was my Eclair messenger bag, which
Oh,
again, this is also a fully veg tan bag. And it's this leather, I don't know, it has something. It's even though it's a veg tan leather, which tends to be stiff,
yeah.
this one is it's very supple, right? I think it's tumbled or something,
I think
but
so.
it is. It is one practical, beautiful, stylish bag. You know, it's small though. This is the medium size. It only fits my 13-inch laptop
Okay.
with this felt, natural felt. And I mean, look at this. It's just gorgeous,
Wow.
right?
I love that pebble grain on the surface
Yes.
of that
Yeah.
bag. It's that deep, rich navy blue veg tan. It's
Amazing.
yeah, it's a beautiful representation, I think, of how do I want to say it? So it's not it's like a matte finish. So like it's got like a sort of an open pore, so it doesn't glisten in the sun. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
this stuff I'm working on now. This is Wicket and Craig Latigo.
Wow.
See how that
Amazing.
glistens,
Beautiful.
right? You can see
Yeah.
the
I can see the yeah, yeah, yeah.
shine of the light, whereas something like what you're holding is more like what's a good example? Something more like this.
Yeah.
So it's more matte. So it doesn't reflect the light off. I love the pebble grain and just the matte sort of texture of it. It's got like a rubbery feel.
Yep.
For reference, I got to actually handle that bag at when me and Eli met for dinner in DC a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah, which was amazing, by the way. It was
Yeah.
so cool. That Spanish place you took me, amazing, beautiful. Thank you so much for that. I really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah,
Um,
no problem, my friend. I was glad that was a great experience. And at the end, they played
Flamenco, they played
flamenco.
flamenco, they danced flamenco. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes. What a great environment. We had the jamón ibérico, which
The
um
tortillas. Oh, yeah.
yes.
So
Oh man.
Spanish food. You
Yeah.
can't go wrong with Spanish food.
No, not at
Um,
all. Authentic European. And then what was it called? Se me olvidó el nombre. La taberna del alabardero.
El Alabardero. Yes,
Sí,
yes.
sí.
Taberna El Alabardero. Highly recommended, folks, if you're in
Yes,
DC.
yes. I ate there so many times when I was going to school in DC, and it just brings back fond memories. Some of the best.
And again, you see, we are kind of always attracted to this heritage experiences, which I think that is a heritage experience, right? You go to
Yeah,
this beautiful place, beautifully designed, you know, very, very Spanish environment, and then this old music
yeah,
still around, the food, everything.
yeah.
I kind of enjoy that more
Uh,
than modern gastronomy. Yeah.
right, absolutely. And I'm sorry I had to put you in a place where you probably didn't understand Spanish speakers. I'm sorry I had to subject you to that non-English
Everything was
speaking
in Spanish.
environment.
Well thought, my friend. Well thought.
I had to take Eli out of his comfort zone a little bit and put him in a place where he was unfamiliar. People speaking Spanish all over the place.
Yes, Dale. Next time, please take me to McDonald's.
Yeah,
Great
I'll not
choice, my
force
friend.
my culture on you.
Great choice. Great choice. So the one that you saw that day actually wasn't this but particular messenger bag, but the backpack which also I have from Bleu De Chauffe. So
Okay.
as you can see, I have acquired quite a few things from them because I just again it is simple design, one flap, one
Yeah.
big old hole right here. That's
Yeah.
it. And then one, zippered back pocket here. But again, it's simple, straightforward. I think Bleu de Chauffe is one brand that any, heritage boot lover would like to maybe
Absolutely.
explore. Yeah.
Absolutely. And by the way, folks, I'm going to be leaving links to all these different brands in the description below, including Bleu de Chauffe. Definitely, people. I'm very sorry. By the way, I kind of put myself out there as a backpack maker, but I haven't made a backpack in months. I,
Oh, you haven't?
I'm working on a batch of 4 right now.
Oh,
I'll bring that into the frame real quick. But people ask me, "Hey man, could you make me this? Could you make me that?" And the conclusion I'm coming to is there's a lot of fantastic companies out there that are making fantastic products that you could buy right now. You don't have to wait months or years for me to make it for you. You can go to Blue to Show and get some fantastic heritage backpacks and messenger bags right now. We'll talk about some other ones, but this is one I'm working on now. I'm working on a batch of scouts in
nice.
yeah,
Green and brown, right?
yeah. olive and brown, olive and chocolate brown. This is,
Beautiful.
yeah, thank you. This is Wicket and Craig olive latigo, and then the brown is I actually don't know what it is. I ordered it, and it feels like Wicket and Craig, but I actually think it's a Horween leather that I got from Maverick. I just can't remember what it's called, but it's very thick stuff. It's 12 ounces thick.
Wow.
Yeah, and so
But you see, Dale, I mean, yeah, there is a lot of stuff you can find out there already, already made. But I
yes,
think your advantage, the value that you bring is that you have the flexibility for now to incorporate leathers and combinations and things. I mean, you can't right now you can't go to Bleu De Chauffe or Filson or Bradley Mountain, these brands that we were going to be talking about, and customize. It's rare, right? Just
yes,
to find that. I think that to your point, I think there is something different with your offer here.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And it's my sort of space where I can really play around, get creative, because ultimately what I'm doing is I'm tapping into that creative aspect of my personality. Yes, babe. Okay.
Oh, mango.
Mom,
Is that mango?
yeah. Oh, that's true. Another plug for a product I love, WESN Blades.
Oh, yes. I have the mini one, the mini uh
Oh,
knife, pocket knife, yeah.
yeah, you have the microblade.
The microblade, yeah, that one. Oh,
Oh,
wow, that's beautiful.
yeah,
Amazing. Wow.
yeah. It's called the Bornus knife, and this was in their Dama steel, and it's full tang, and it's as you can see the texture on the blade. It's
Outstanding.
yeah, I love it. It's basically Damascus steel. So I'm gonna cut a mango right now. Show you.
Go ahead, go ahead. So, again, I think as we were talking about, there are options out there, many makers. I have a few I want to share with you, besides Bleu de Chauffe. And before we go to the big ones like Filson, right? Because Filson's been there for quite a while and it's a really known brand. They do still have heritage backpacks and very nice products that we can talk about. There are a few others that are not, or maybe less known. For instance, this guy from Belgium. This is Three Size Verse is the name of his brand. Three Size Verse is one man operation brand, and actually this was one of the higher end heritage backpacks that I got. It is waxed canvas, really thick, like 18 ounces, I think it is.
Oh,
Then
nice.
with oiled leather, very thick, and veg tan straps. This thing is beautiful. It's a roll top,
Oh,
right?
wow.
It's a roll top. We can go ahead and do this. And then it only has like really old time hardware materials, like these are just buckles, no zippers, nothing, no points of failure.
Okay.
It's
Are
really nice.
are those
Studs, like,
studs? Yes,
yeah,
like in the cup.
studs. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right here. Exactly, like yours. Yeah,
Okay.
I have them here. Yeah,
Oh,
like your
nice.
cups. Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. There's no way this thing is gonna fail ever, right?
right,
It's
right.
what I like of these makers. They do things in a clever way, in a practical way, combining materials, and even though this is one man operation, you can actually customize with him. So you can
Yeah.
ask him for a different leather, different, an extra pocket. It's beautiful. Tree Size Verse is his brand. He's in Belgium. Um, beautiful,
You
beautiful stuff.
said
Tree
verse.
size, like tree size verse. I don't even know what that means.
Let's see if I'm following him on Instagram.
Oh man, you should.
Yeah.
It's really really cool. Dennis, I think is his name. The communication with him is really good. He's really nice, polite. He's flexible with his designs. Honestly, one of the best
Yeah.
offerings that you can find out there. You have to wait though a little bit because it's almost like made to order stuff.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, And but he has also batches of product that you can buy off the shelf, I think.
Oh, I see him now.
Did
Okay,
you find him?
tree size verse. Yeah, I was not following him,
Yep, that's it.
but I'm following him now. Wow.
Beautiful, beautiful, simple, old time designs, nothing too fancy. But
Is,
again, yeah, there we go.
is that
That's
one yours?
the base of the one I have.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different, but is that's a baseline. So
Okay.
you start with one of those, and then you ask for extra, modifications and customization. For instance, I asked him to include two internal pockets and the laptop sleeve, and he did, right?
Okay.
And with a different colorway in the inside.
Ooh.
So you can see when it's dark, this
Okay.
kind of a mustard waxed canvas in the inside as well. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just beautiful. I don't quite use it much anymore because I have so many bags and backpacks,
Right.
but this good stuff. Good stuff. I
Yeah.
actually have also from him a utility pouch that I
Okay.
got. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's it.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's a good selection. And yeah, could you hold that up a little closer? I just want to see. This looks like he's got some copper rivets there at the
Yep.
base with the brand on there. Oh, tree size.
Leather, tree size bears, and then you have a zipper, and well, I have my stuff here. But this thing with the little key ring here, I mean, just again, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
simple but practical. Is
Right.
exactly what you want. It's not a tech, nylon thing where you have many pockets and stuff, and you can, it's just one big hole, and then you put your stuff there, and it's really, really the patina. Oh man, the patina on waxed canvas, on good, high quality. I'm talking about, I don't know, British Millerain wax canvas, the good stuff.
Yeah. Good stuff.
This thing
Really.
patinas, I think, as good or maybe better than some leathers,
Yeah.
right?
I
I,
completely
I, I think so.
Yes, I completely agree. I have that wax canvas jacket.
Rogue Terror,
Road territory. Yes, yes.
I have that one too. Would you
Oh,
you have it lined or unlined?
mine's unlined. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean mine too. Yeah.
Sorry, mine's lined in the body.
Oh, okay.
So I was not anticipating having a guest
A
on.
visitor. She's always welcome.
Yes. Some things are just beyond my control, you know what I mean?
Okay, so now I want to try mango.
Yeah.
After we finish this conversation, I'm gonna head to my garden and grab a mango from, the tree I have here. I'm
You have
just
mangoes?
kidding. No, I don't. No, I just.
Okay.
But now I want to have mango.
Yeah,
So yeah,
absolutely.
I mean that jacket is amazing. I don't get to use it much here in Panama though, but it is. I mean, it's
So
so
cool.
beautifully designed, and again, the more you use it,
Yeah.
the canvas, right, patinas and gets character, and it's just something very, very particular about that material, that particular material, right?
You're right.
Uh,
It breaks in different than like denim does. Like denim, in the knees it forms those honeycombs, and in the crotch it forms like the lines. But with the wax canvas, it almost forms breaks, similar to leather, but because it's like your arms, so the arms will form distinctive breaks in the elbow, inner elbow. But a good wax cotton canvas almost forms like diamond patterns in it as you
yep.
wear. I noticed in certain conditions, if it's broken in properly and photographed properly, you can see almost diamond patterns throughout. I'll see if I can find an example of what I'm talking about, but I noticed some of that with the Rogue Territory ones. They
Well, on this particular, those kind of lines and breaking points on this canvas it's just so particular and nice. This is
Yeah.
something you can't. I mean, it's just similar with leather. I have another one here that I wanted to show you that my this is the biographer backpack from Bradley Mountain.
Nice.
Bradley Mountain, another. spectacular maker. Oh man, the things that these guys make, not only backpacks, bags and jackets and everything,
Yeah.
but again, this is not lined, and this is a really thick, really thick wax canvas
Yeah.
combined with this so they call this is interesting. I think you talk about this in one episode. This is Rouge. What is it? Is I think it's from Wicked and Craig, but it's kind of something like Rouge, Rosette
Oh,
leather,
russet?
russet leather. But
Okay,
again,
yeah,
it's not russet at all.
right.
It's
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 not.
more like a yellowish, but then it
Yeah.
gets. But this is so beautiful and supple. The biographer backpack from Bradley Mountain. Again, another roll top that you can expand. You can just one buckle to close it. Really, uh, I believe this is it's a proprietary zipper, but I think it's YKK or something like that. It's really tough.
Okay.
And I love this so much. This wasn't limited edition because of the combination green forest, I think forest wax canvas and the russet leather. I think from
Yes.
Wicked and Craig, really thick. I don't know,
Yes.
this thing is really thick. And then I love this so much that I got a tote for my wife.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Oh,
with
beautiful.
yeah, beautiful stuff. I mean, this is not even close.
Yeah.
This color right here is not even close to the initial tones of this leather. And
Right.
again, we see on on the wax canvas what we're talking about, those breaks, right? Those it just eh,
I
very unique. I don't know if you can see that, but
yeah. So I'm looking at the website. So it says it's 18-ounce waxed duck canvas, 18
yeah,
ounce.
18.
That's unreal. That's very high. And then 9-ounce USA harness leather. They don't specify the tannery, but it looks like Wicket and Craig.
I think this is Wicked and Craig. I do, especially with this particular russet leather, because I've seen russet leather boots. I think from Christian Daniel or some other maker that is not russet at all, because russet means kind of a reddish.
Yes.
But it is not. It's
Right.
maybe someone that's watching this video can help us out to
Yeah. Well,
determine why is it called russet.
Eli, I know you're a language nerd, and I go down these rabbit holes all the time. In fact, just as an aside, recently I made it a determination of mine. I want to study all major world languages, and I want to get to a level of competency with a lot of them. So right now, I took 2 years of high school German, and German was always one that I wanted to finish. And so this past week,
Nice.
I've just been studying German nonstop because what's interesting about German is I follow this one linguist on YouTube, Simon something. He's out of the UK, but he's an expert in Old English. And
Oh, I follow him too.
oh, do
Yeah,
you?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's so funny. Learning the Cockney, British accents, and he's yeah. I know who you're talking about. He's
Yeah,
cool.
yes, he's an expert in Old English, and the reason why he's good at Old English is because he knows German.
Oh,
Well,
interesting.
And people say, "Oh, English is a Germanic language." Modern English is not no longer a Germanic language. I hate to break it. This is just my opinion, by the way. If you want to understand Old English, which I do, I want to be able to like read the Bible written in Old English and stuff. If you go to try to read Old English, you're going to have a very difficult time unless you know German, because Old English they had all their cases still. See, a lot of people don't realize this, but English lost all of its rich grammar uh,
Right.
after the Vikings invaded England, because basically our modern version of English that we speak now is a really watered down version of the old Germanic English. So basically, imagine all these Viking immigrants coming into England and then teaching their kids a bastardized version of English. They lost all the cases, they lost all the genders for the nouns, they lost everything. I don't know if you've ever studied German, but it's incredibly difficult from a grammar perspective. I think there's 3 or 4 different cases. There's a bunch of different words for the. In English, we just say the. We just have a non-gendered the. Spanish, at least you guys have el and la.
Yeah.
But in English, we used to have multiple genders for the. I don't need to go down the whole rabbit hole, but essentially we lost all the grammar, all the regimented grammar that is characteristic of modern Germanic languages. Like if you go to study Dutch or Flemish or any of the other real Germanic languages, you're going to run into these really complicated case systems. Russian has it as well. English has no cases. Almost you never see it pop up in modern English, except for in the case of like, for whom is this letter? Not for who is
Right.
this letter, for whom.
Right. Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's like
yeah.
the only time we see a case pop up in English. In
So I didn't know you were so interested in languages and like that deep. I mean, I knew that you like Spanish. You were telling me you were wanted to learn, you were studying another language, but
Yeah,
not that deep.
this is a long roundabout way of saying I want to learn other languages to be able to understand more about the world in general. I think I'm bringing this full circle to rustic.
Russet.
Russet, yes. Russet comes from the root rust that we have rust in English. Rust, if you think about rust on metal, it's reddish and it's brown, right? And russet is defined as a reddish brown, but there's a continuum there. It could range. I've seen russet described a lot of ways, but in essence, like for example,
You do have a pair of boots in russet
yeah,
leather. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
yes, I could call this russet. I absolutely could. Most people would probably call it brown or mahogany, but you could absolutely call that russet. That's what I think of when I hear russet. This I would consider a russet. There's other russets where it's almost like, I think Wickett and Craig actually calls this russet. And as you can see, there's not a lot of red or brown. It's more,
No, and yeah. I mean, we could argue that is kind of, right?
yeah,
Maybe maybe they call it russet not for the color, but for the process, maybe of tanning the tanning process. Is
yes.
that a way to
And
maybe interpret this?
you're
Because I,
ab
I remember I remember by the way when I was in DC, I went to the Alden store in
Mhm.
DC, and they showed me, and you told me this as well. They showed me these 405s, the classic indie boot with the what's the name of that leather? You know the name.
Oh,
Is it
they call it calf, but
yeah, it's cuff, but it has a particular name.
Horween, or this is called Horween Austin leather.
Austin, there you go, the Austin leather. So
Yeah.
they showed me the classic one that like the one you have, and I had it as well. I just sold it. But then there was a glider color one. And I said, "What is that?" He said, "No, this is a 405 as well."
Yeah.
But it is very different. And
Yeah.
it is the same leather. It's just a
Yes.
different, I don't know, pigment or something happened during the process of tanning
Yeah.
the leather that it came out different. And I said, but is it the same leather though? And he said, "Yeah, that one. There we go. Both of them, same leather,
Yeah.
but something in the process of tanning changed, and they didn't, I guess, wanted to, they wanted to use that leather. It's beautiful though. It's amazing. I almost bought it.
Yeah.
And I'm still thinking about it.
Right.
But it is the same leather, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the name they use for leathers is not so much for the color, but for
Yeah.
that particular tanning.
Right. It looks like mine are right in between yours.
Right?
The
Right? Yeah.
so what
And
I
it is the same leather. It's the same leather.
it's the same leather. So a couple things could be going on here. The lighter boot could have sat in the sun for a prolonged period of time, like in a window, and had the sun beat down on it, which would lighten it. But I don't think that's what's going on. I think what's going on, because if it was the sun, you'd have the front portion lighter, and if you turn it around, you'd see the back portion was more like darker.
Oh, you mean exposure to the sun once already made, like the final product?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh. Hmm.
The sun will bleach boots if left to a prolonged enough exposure to the sun. It
Right.
will it will bleach the boots. But I don't think that's what's going on because it's so uniform. What
That
I
is
think,
not the case. No, the gentleman there, what was his name? It was a great guy, classic.
Yeah.
I loved him. He said no, actually the leather came like that from the factory. They didn't want to throw it away, so they used it, and it became that version of the 405. Beautiful, out like unique. It's very different from what you see on that particular model. I think in the case of russet, might be something like that. But
Yeah.
thank you for the explanation of the origin of the, the root of the word, the
Yeah.
meaning of the word.
Yeah,
In
definitely.
leather, I think we will find that a lot.
Right, absolutely. So what I think is going on with this particular case is let's say I'm a chef at a bakery, right? And well, I like a little bit more sugar in my cupcakes. So instead of, the recipe is 2 teaspoons, but I'm gonna add 4, it's the same thing. Like, so this is a generic Phoebing's leather dye, pretty standard. Let's say for that particular batch of the Horween 405, the guy at the tannery, maybe he's new, maybe he misread the recipe. A lot of factors. So many factors go into this. But maybe he just dumped the whole thing of dye into the batch for the darker
Probably.
pair, and maybe used half the amount for the lighter pair. Maybe it was an inexperienced mixer, or maybe that particular drum, maybe because of there's so many factors, right? Because of the time that the cows were slaughtered and the hides were harvested from those cows, maybe it was a winter harvest as opposed to a summer harvest. The winter hides are thicker. And so maybe they did put the right amount of dye in, but because the hides are thicker, the absorption of the hides was much greater compared to a summer harvest. And so they might have added the same amount of pigment, but it looks lighter in the end product because,
Probably. That could have had, yeah, that could be a reason for that. Now, if I don't want to get too philosophical about it, but
yeah,
if you change that much, because that is a dramatic change in color, right? From
yeah,
those two versions. Is
yeah,
it the same? Is it the same 405? Is it the same boot? Is it the same thing? That's what I wonder. And maybe they base their decision to still call it 405
yeah,
because of the leather itself, not the pigmentation on the leather. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
absolutely.
So yeah,
Yeah,
so maybe if they the 40 so if you compare the 403 versus the 405, of course the leather is different. So it's a different thing. It's a different animal. It's a different animal in terms of design, in
yes.
terms of materials, in terms of what you get the final product.
And
But I mean it's interesting though, to
it is.
see this.
And one last point you made me remember. So there's so much to words, right? A word has so much meaning behind it, right? So I talked about russet. Okay,
Russet.
so I brought up the word rust to indicate red, brown, but russet also refers to rustic, right? That was the other. There's 2 components behind it: rust and rustic. Rustic, what's that mean? Aged, old. And so Wickett and Craig, when they create a leather, they call it russet. They might not be thinking about russet the way I normally do, which is like a reddish brown. They might be thinking in terms of rustic. And what does this look like? This looks like an aged.
Beautiful.
There's a lot of R's going on in my head. So rust, russet, rustic, all of these things dance around in the etymology, right? This is a big, and that's why I love language too. Is it tells you so much about the world around you, and if you just think about I'm constantly googling the etymology of words. It's just so fascinating because you learn so much about your own language. Like for example, when you're learning Spanish, and I'm learning the verb tener, for example, I'm like, oh, well, we don't have that in English. Why is that so different in Spanish? That yo tengo, tú tienes. We do have tener in English, and this is one thing no Spanish teacher ever taught me. We have it. It's in words like sustain, maintain, right? Sostener, mantener, attain, atener. We very much have it in English words that end in tain. We just don't have the root. We don't have a word tain. I don't.
Oh,
I can't say I
nice.
attain something. That's not a thing. But I do maintain. I sustain. I attain. So we very much have that in English. It strips away the mystery, right? The more you study languages, the more the mysteries of different things get stripped away, and you start to see it in more of a translucent lens sort of thing. So, and you also studied Italian, right? Too?
But no, not really.
Okay.
But because we it is almost the same root. It's not that difficult for us to understand each other. We could. Same thing with Portuguese, right? I mean,
Yes.
it's a whole language, right? But it's not that difficult for us to maybe, with a little body language help, we can understand each other if that's necessary. It wouldn't happen with German or I don't know, Greek. It's just different.
Right.
But yeah, it's important to know the etymology and the grammar behind I mean, we are linguistic beings, right? We live. We don't only use language. We live in a world that is immersed in language. With what it is not within the language that we know, it doesn't exist, right? So it's important to go ahead and really understand a little bit more the
Yeah.
meaning and the intention of the everything that we say. And I always, from my professional background, I always do that with my clients. I am a facilitator. What we do is we talk about communication and the impact of teamwork and results and leadership. And language is a huge part of it, right? It's not only a huge part, I think it's everything.
Yes.
So sharing the same language in a team is not that easy.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be from many places around the world and still have great results with one team only if you have a common language. But yeah, that's part of the interest in studying humans as well in general, right? And
Yeah.
as part of the phenomenon, one of those phenomenons is language.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah,
Yes.
the reason and what you're saying is what you're describing there is along the linguistic continuum. Yeah, for a Spanish speaker to understand a Portuguese speaker, very easy. Same with Italian. But for an English speaker to go understand German, it's never going to happen. There's very few instances where you would understand as an English speaker where you would understand German. It has become so completely foreign. Like I said, for any English speaker that doesn't believe me, go read some old English and you will be lost. You will not understand what is going on at
I
all.
agree.
You think, oh, maybe it's not like going from Spanish to Portuguese. It's like going from Spanish to Romanian or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Latin in that case. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, even further, I would say than because I could understand some Latin, but oh man, German is just so hard. That's and speaking of German, this is all a point. I'm not going off on random rabbit trails for no reason. Before we continue, I want to talk about this.
Oh man, what is that?
This is an authentic World War II German army. It's called a Tornister backpack. Tornister. It's a hair on
Wow.
hide. So, and I want to caveat this, people. All right, this is World War II. This is controversial subjects. I'm only presenting the bag. I'm
Right.
not giving my opinion on anything political.
Absolutely. Yeah, just the historical from the historical perspective. Yeah.
Yes. But
Oh, wow.
yeah. So you see this three here.
Yeah.
These used to come in sets of three, and the German army they would carry. This was designed to carry radio equipment, and to put the whole apparatus together, you needed the one, two, and three. The eins, zwei, drei. It's not complete without eins, zwei, and drei. And so I open her up.
Is that canvas?
Yes, there is cotton canvas. It's not waxed, but you can see the veg tan straps here.
Look at the edging, the finishing. I mean, wow. It's
Yeah, yeah, just crazy. I believe these little tabs were used to hold possibly clip things on like canteens, maybe some room for some personal effects. But for the most part, like so the hair on hide was to keep it waterproof. So as you know, they're outside, they're marching in the rain, and the water would come down and just bead off this protecting
where did you get that piece of history, man?
there's believe it or not, there's a lot of websites where you can buy old militaria.
It's in great condition though.
Yes,
Is
it is.
that it is the original thing. It's not a replica, right?
it's not a replica. This is as authentic as it gets. What's neat about it is you could almost make out a name. Somebody etched. It looks like somebody etched a two up here. Not
I
sure if it
see.
cut
Yeah,
into
yeah, yeah.
it. And then here there's a name. I can't really read it.
Right.
It starts with an H.
I see the H. Yeah.
Yeah, het. I can't make it out. But I have some other ones here. Let's see. I bought multiple examples, and believe it or not, these were only like $250 each. Like these are not
Wow.
super pricey. This is a beautiful example. Yeah, this one on the back says Auto Coverston Landsberg AW. Anyways, beautiful. You see that?
They seem in great condition. You can almost use it, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. If I wanted to fix them up, I could absolutely use them. Yeah, this one is in extremely good condition. You can see the cotton canvas here. Looks really good. Yeah, more veg tan tabs on the side that are loops that I believe they could have affixed, a canteen to, something like that. Maybe their utensils. Oh, here's one. So see the double rivets here, but then this must have snapped off, so they stitched it, repaired it.
Wow. No, but I mean, if you see the design, every aspect of that backpack is a utilitarian aspect.
Yes,
There's nothing there that wasn't supposed to be there. Oh,
right.
wow. Oh,
Exactly.
wow.
Yeah, so
What's
let me show
that?
you from the
Like a
side.
clamp.
That pops
Wow, with that
open.
gusset. Yeah.
Yes. And yeah, it's gusseted and with the canvas, and then so inside that would house the and there's walls in here.
What
I'm not
you
sure.
you should make one of those. Like that
Yes.
is a really smart way to open that.
Yeah, it is. Right.
I don't see that much. Not in a heritage design though.
Right.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, people probably don't.
Is that a pouch there? Like a
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, so let me flip this up.
so that's where they put their tablets.
Yes, exactly. You can see the
Oh
stitch work in there.
wow,
It's kind of shoddy. The yeah, but so it's
clever
not.
design.
Yeah, but it is clever. Yeah, the stitching is kind of all over the place. I assume that was hand stitched. So, um,
Well, my friend, we have to talk. Maybe that's the one I'm gonna ask you to make
yeah,
for me.
yeah,
So-
absolutely. Absolutely. That was going to be part of this historical series was I was going to show these bags and then I was going to try to duplicate it. So we'll see. It's a lot of work.
So how big is it? Is it like it's a smaller bag, right? Because of
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, in
about
terms
this.
of yeah, yeah, I see. Okay. Yeah, it was really utilitarian. That was made for a purpose, specific purpose, yeah, right? I mean, we
There,
have this communication devices and stuff. Yeah.
yeah. And then I'm going to try to show you how this system closes up. So this is unique. So you take the veg tan enclosure strap and there's this metal
Yep.
I don't know
I
what you
see.
call it, slit and you get
You pass it through there, yeah?
pass it through there and then you have this piece you slide that through.
Again, simple but effective.
Yeah,
There's no, breaking point there. There's no, yeah. That
right.
thing is never gonna fail.
No,
Is that
never.
metal? Is a metal piece?
Yeah, that's metal. And so that's how they would keep it shut. And like I said, this hair on top, the hair on hide, this is not something we see very often in the leather world,
No,
but
no.
they kept the hair on hide because that's gonna repel water. Just let the water
Wow.
bead off and protect the radio equipment on the inside. So
That is really cool.
pretty nuts.
Really cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
very nice.
pretty nuts.
Very nice.
I have more, but I don't want to rush through. So
So, yeah, this findings that you have there, I think most of these heritage brands that we've around, like Bradley Mountain and the Bleu De Chauffe,
yeah,
they get inspiration from those very old time backpacks. Like I know that this Bleu De Chauffe backpack was inspired from a a classic climbing Swiss backpack, I think.
Yeah.
I have this other one that this is called Pack Animal. It's really
Oh,
Pack Animal is the brand.
pack animal. Okay, I haven't
Pack
heard.
Animal, yeah, they did a very successful crowdfunding for the stuff. And this is not wax canvas. This is twill, like tw cotton twill, right?
Okay.
It's different. It's harder stuff.
Yeah.
And again, and this was inspired by a very old climbing backpack as well, like
Yeah.
Swiss pack. And when you see the video on YouTube of this guy talking about the design, he shows the original thing, and
Okay.
they did a few changes on it, but again, it's practical, of course. And at that time, this closure right here is it has straps, but the real closure is with a buckle for
Oh,
practical reasons right now, right? For practical reasons.
yeah.
But again, you see some mixture between veg tan leather and this cotton. Ah, you see, like that one, the one that you have there. Yep,
Yeah.
it's
You said that's based off a Swiss.
yep, yeah,
Okay. Because
something like that,
I
something like
bought
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
You
bought
see?
some original Swiss mountaineering backpacks as well. So
Wow. No, those are nice.
we could compare. So show me that again. So when you open up the enclosure, there's a cinch.
There is a cinch. Yeah,
There's a
right
pull
here.
a
There's a
pull
cinch.
strap. Yes, to
I
tighten.
pull, yeah, and then you open it, and well, the lining is a tactical lining, like it's
Yeah.
it's not it's not a heritage material, but
Yeah.
it is nice. It's pop red, that red pops out really cool. And then you have this cinch with the cotton lace, right? That thing, string,
Okay.
and then a big pocket here.
Nice. Okay, I see what you're saying. That is so cool. Yeah, let me open this up. I haven't I'm ashamed to say I haven't examined these bags as much as I should have, but
Yeah, see
okay,
the
this
closure?
this
Yeah.
has the cinch
Yep.
the cinch tightening enclosure. Okay. Wow.
I mean, the Bleu De Chauffe has the same closure with a leather thing.
Okay.
You see? Yeah, it's you can cinch it down, and I think that's the inspiration from the climbing mountaining backpacks. That cinch system, right?
Yes, it is.
It's
Yeah,
not really military. It's more from the mountain aficionados at the time. It was more practical for them
that's
to
right.
close them that way, to open and access everything that they needed. Oh, the back. Wow, that's a complex system. Maybe like back support, right? Yeah, for the weight.
Yeah, yeah. You can see this metal bracket and that extends
Wow,
the base and all the way up. Uh
clever,
yeah, it
clever.
comes all the way up
That's
here.
so those straps are for weight distribution in the back, so you can adjust the weight of the top buckles, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Like
It's
I
a
said,
whole system. Right?
yeah, it's a whole system. I mean, the Swiss freaking know how to make a backpack. But yeah, this is an original. I think this dates back to the 70s, maybe the 60s. I can't remember. Very worn, very beat up. And yeah, the veg okay. Bleu De Chauffe, they use felt. This is
They
felt.
do. Yeah,
Yeah,
they do.
they
They
use
use
felt.
felt, like natural felt. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Wow. Look at
You
that.
see, that's the inspiration. I mean, with a twist, with a impregnation of their own identity, they can reissue these old old ways of doing things that I believe is highly valued for for the modern life. I believe that there are things that you can. I mean, today I wouldn't imagine buying a backpack with that system in the back, like that the one that you're showing. But
Yeah.
new makers are, simplifying things inspired by those designs and getting things
Yes.
beautiful and practical things to use. That's a great backpack
Yeah,
right
it's
there. It's
before I started making backpacks, do you know how hard it is to find information on the history of backpacks? There is like the information out there is scant. There's nothing. And like I always said, if I was going to start a YouTube channel, I wanted to cover stuff that nobody else was covering, right? I wanted to explore new ground. And this is that. Like the most I could find on backpacks was there's a guy that collects old backpacks from like the 70s, and he wasn't even well versed in the history of it. I reached out to him to try to pick his brain, like, hey, is there some literature I could read about the history of backpacks and how they've evolved over time? And he didn't really know much. He was just a collector. And so I decided, okay, I'm gonna dig my heels in and try to discover this, because what it taps into, right, is it taps into anthropology, like, and archaeology, right? And what I love about
Absolutely.
old pieces in particular is, I like to go tour old ruins and old things, and I like to analyze sort of the archaeological reconstruction versus the original, what's remaining from the original. And what's so cool is right now bbmilitaria.com, that's B Bravo Bravo BB Militaria, they sell a lot of World War II, World War One relics. I'm on lists for other sites. You could just get on their
I
list.
see. Oh, wow. Nice.
And so I always wonder, when you go to a museum and you start asking questions, and the museum curators, they talk about, oh, there's a lot of relics get sold on the black market. There's a lot of relics that get sold off to collectors. What's a collector? We're collectors now. We're the
Yeah, we
collectors.
are. We are.
If you're into the history, you can collect it right now. There's eBay. If you go to eBay and look for Tornister backpack, you will find more German Tornister backpacks for sale right now. You could just right now go buy them. And now you're the collector. Now you have a mini museum in your house. Now you can study this stuff yourself. And what part of the reason why I wanted to buy some of these old historic backpacks is to be able to show them for posterity's sake, because these things don't last forever. If my house burned down, there goes that. There goes the knock on wood, heaven forbid. I think by putting it on camera, talking about it, and putting it up on YouTube for posterity to see and enjoy, then it never gets lost. It's kind of
Absolutely. I agree with you.
yeah. When Rose Anvil Weston, when he cut those German officer boots in half.
Yeah, and the Japanese boots as well. Yeah, exactly. Many people went, why are you doing that?
Yeah, you're destroying history. Well, it's like, no, I'm preserving history, actually. My,
Exactly.
he's like, this video is going to get, I think it's over 1 million views, frankly. Think about how many people visit a museum yearly. It's like, what, certain museums, 20,000, 50,000 tops. And then people forget that. But on a video, it gets preserved digitally as long as the internet's alive.
Completely agree. Completely agree with you. Yeah, absolutely. And there is yet another reason for us to keep talking about this stuff.
Yes, exactly. So, like, I loved your idea for this video because it's allowing me to open up about stuff I haven't shown on my channel yet, and the direction where I want to take it is I don't just want to talk about great modern products, which there's a ton of. I also want to highlight historical pieces as well. This is the other Swiss backpack.
That is really beautiful. And you can see, let me show you something real quick with that one in hand.
Yeah,
If you go to Bleu De Chauffe
yeah,
website, and then let me show you. So you can hold that back up, and then let me show you some of their other backpacks they have. It's kind of the same essence in the design. Look at the shape.
oh yeah, okay,
You
okay,
see the shape like a pear, something like a pear maybe.
yeah, bottom
You
heavy.
see? You see with the string, with the
Yes,
closure string. You
yes,
see? Of course, in the back maybe there are differences, but again, these makers are just getting the essence of that historic piece and add a twist for
right,
modern use. And let me
yeah,
tell you something.
yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That's simple. It's just one big old, hole right there.
Just the whole, it's the whole,
Not many, yeah, but then it's so utilitarian for that purpose, for what they were made for.
right.
Um, and again, I'm coming from from those really detailed and technical backpacks and bags. I used to, I'm coming from the North Face
Yeah.
and maybe some other brands more refined like Tumi. I loved Tumi. I used
Oh
Tumi.
yeah.
I still have Tumi. But again, is that there are so many things like details that you never actually get to use.
Right.
And this is so
Exactly.
straightforward. Like,
Yeah,
look at that. Look at that back. That is
definitely.
so complex, right?
Yes. I'm not sure if the camera's catching that, but it says Bergman's original Bergman's. And
Wow.
it says it on the veg tan up top here. I'm not sure.
I see. I see. Yeah.
Yeah, Bergman's original.
Yep.
And yeah, that's two pieces of veg tan closing that together. Yeah, Bergman's original made in Oslo, Norway.
Norway. Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Oslo,
You see?
Norway. And is there a date on there?
I mean, I bet you can get that backpack and take it to him, hiking,
Yeah.
maybe, and it will perform
Oh yeah,
beautifully.
it'll perform, and it's got these metal bracket as well
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
comes down right here, goes this length
Yeah.
and comes up and it intersects up here. So yeah, I'm gonna dedicate videos to these.
You
Unfortunately,
should.
yeah, I will. And once again, I want to do this for historical purposes, and I want to do this. I consider myself an amateur bag maker, but I feel like my real strength with all this is just my fascination with it because who else is this interested in backpacks, right?
When I went to the boot camp,
Yeah,
and that was an amazing experience, by the way. It was really cool.
yeah.
I met great people, and one of them is my pal William. You can find him, or as I call him, Gije. You can find him on Instagram, Amaru underscore and underscore Crow, Amaru and Crow.
Okay.
He's just as passionate as we are about leather work, by the way. You both of you should talk. He's doing his starting his craft as well as a leather maker. And we were talking about, well, we should have a bigger community sharing, this passion because these things are going to last. I mean,
Yes.
everything you use, yeah, that's my pilot right there. Yeah, yeah.
I
Gije,
bet.
he's the one with the on the left, on the
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So that's a pair of boots he got from Allspeed.
Awesome.
Um, I think you interviewed them, right? The guys from Allspeed.
Yeah, I
Did you?
did. I did. And yeah, I met Amaru. Is that his name, Amaru?
His name is
Oh,
Guille or William. He's William. His name is
okay.
William, and he's doing great stuff with leather as well.
I see that. Look at that,
Yeah,
ladies.
yeah, yeah,
Hit
yeah.
this guy up, Amaru and Crow. I'll leave a link to his Instagram below as well.
We share the same things. Like, you see, that's beautiful things. It's
Wow.
timeless. Is beautiful. It will resist. It will endure. That's why I really appreciate what you do and what Weston and our friend Takeo
Yeah,
having these spaces to talk about and share these emotions that we have and fascination for things that again will are timeless and will last forever.
definitely.
There's this brand I wanted to show you now. The name, please, is not is I love the name of the brand, but
Yeah.
sometimes is kind of well, it's funny. The name is Knotsack, but let me show you. Let me show you what they mean. Here we go, Knotsack, right?
Oh,
And the story goes that the story goes that the founders, when they started this project, everyone in their families or circle, they said, "Oh, you want to do, stuff made in America? You're
yeah.
nuts by doing that. I mean, why would you do that? It's impossible to do this thing." So they decided to go with Nutsuck. But this brand, my friend, wow,
Yeah.
this is a small, small, I don't know what to call this. This is an EDC bag.
Okay.
So this wax canvas they use, amazing. This strap though, I changed it for I got the strap from Three Size First from Belgium. and I
Okay.
just changed them. But again, if you see what they're doing cool stuff. Now
Yeah.
you can buy their stuff online and ask for no logo, just the but this is another brand to look for, not Sack. They have a backpack,
Yeah.
a rucksack,
Okay.
beautiful rucksack made of wax canvas. You should give them a follow as well.
Yeah.
And there's this other British brand. It's called Gandhi's.
Okay.
Gandhi's. This backpack I got a lot of years ago. I don't even remember when. It's been with me
Okay.
years and years. Gandhi's.
Okay.
And
Here's the
here
nuts.
we go. That's the not sack rucksack.
Awesome.
Amazing, amazing. Made
Awesome.
in the US. As we were talking about earlier, there are so many makers doing cool stuff out there, but they don't get that exposure, right?
Right. There's
Yeah,
Gandy's.
yeah. Gandhi's, yeah. So that's the new version of this one. Um, this
Okay.
thing has traveled with me all around the world. It's just
Wow.
amazing. It's simple. This is 16 ounces organic cotton with a coated, it's not waxed, right? It just has like a coated thing. And
Yeah.
the lining is is a world map, like a very old world map.
A
I
map of
don't know,
better.
maybe from the Lord of the Rings or something like that. I don't know. And but it is so simple and beautiful and nice. And
Wow.
again, it will last forever. If it breaks, you just sew it and sew it and that's it. You
Sew it
just
up, repair
it's
it.
so easy to repair. Yeah.
Exactly.
And
And see, there's
again,
proof of the flat Earth right there. They have a flat Earth map on the inside. They're giving you the hint, people. Pay
proof,
attention to the
proof. This is proof right here. This is proof.
the evidence is all around. I mean, sorry, not around us,
Not around
not
on
around.
the edges. Yeah, on the edges. What else do we have here? Well, I have Filson then. Filson, I have many Filson bags.
Oh,
You want to
cool.
start with the classic rucksack.
Yes. Ooh,
This is a
cool.
classic rugged twill backpack from Filson. They don't make this anymore,
Okay.
unfortunately. They I mean I don't it doesn't get much use, but this is bridal leather, one of my favorite leathers in the world for backpacks.
Yeah.
This thing is undestructible.
Yeah.
Like the zippers, right? They used to use Talon zippers. They changed now. I think this is, I don't know what they are. It says Filson, but it might be YKK. I don't know if you can hear this. Let me just like how do the opening, maybe you can't hear it, but the opening, the teeth of these things
Yeah.
are, I mean,
Huge.
huge, amazing. This is a
Wow.
classic cowboy thing. It is beautiful. Then, of course, this is the smaller one. I had to get the bigger, and I got the bigger as well because I have a problem. But
That
you
doesn't look like
see,
a problem to me, my friend. That looks like a
so
blessing.
now what I'm doing is, so if I want to really use this, I did some modifications on it. So I added a bag with a piece of leather, a bag goes sling through. So I don't know how to call it for the luggage. So you can
Okay.
put in, yeah. So I traveled with this thing, and then in the inside, I got from Bleu De Chauffe one of the felt laptop carry things, and
Oh,
I also added it, so it's removable. So these things you can do with these backpacks, right? You can customize, you can do things, and this will literally last forever. I will never have the time
yeah.
to use and destroy these things. The
Right.
classic Filson 24. I don't. I'm sorry. This is the classic Filson briefcase. Another piece like rugged twill,
Hmm.
bridal leather. This system is really cool. It's a storm flap with a snap closure. You
Okay.
open it, and then have you have here in the inside all the distribution you need for everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Again,
Dang.
this stuff is hard, like
Yes.
really, really hard. This one I got introduced by Nick from Stridewise, and when I saw it, I said, well, okay, this is a modern take of a backpack. This is the Journeyman in what they call tin cloth. Tin cloth is basically wax canvas, but they call it tin cloth. The other ones are in rugged twill, which is
Okay.
harder stuff. And again, simple but very practical and nice.
Yeah.
Now, what happened with this one is that because it was stored, it got, smelly, like from
Okay.
being there and in the closet.
Yeah.
And searching for a solution for this, I came across New England reproofers. New England reproofers.
Interesting.
So what they do, they are specialized
Yeah.
in removing others and reproofing waxed canvas apparel.
Really?
And
Okay.
there are not many
Mm.
that specialize in this stuff. I think that this is the only one in the
Wow.
US. By the way, Filson always recommends, if you want to take care of maybe reproof your jacket or your backpack or your bag,
Yeah.
they recommend to send them to these people. Man, they did a great job. I do have another one in thin cloth that is recently reproofed and rewaxed.
Okay.
So they condition the leather. They use some natural enzymes to remove the others, and they use a special recipe for reproofing again the wax canvas. So I
Oh,
think this is a good tip. I love the work. Their communication is excellent, and they work with very high-end brands like Filson
yeah.
and these British other brands that they have like jackets and
Bar.
Barbour, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they reprove Barbour garments. Again, not really known heroes, but they are out there. And then finally another Filson backpack, which is another simple one strap cinch
You got the cinch included
down,
there.
yeah, one internal flap here,
Yeah.
and
Awesome.
side access. This side access, I think, is when you have a rucksack. This side access gives you access to, anything without having to open all these buckles and stuff. So I
Right.
think this is a really clever way to design a backpack.
Yeah. On
Uh,
the Bleu De Chauffe, they also have that.
they do, yeah, but that is actually like a pouch. It's
Yeah.
not a pouch.
It's a separate compartment.
It's a separate compartment. This right here is access to the internal main compartment.
Okay.
This is internal, so the main compartment, you see, so you
Uh,
don't have to unbuckle on the go
yeah.
and then just have to grab something real quick. You do it from here.
Right.
Uh,
Okay.
I thought this was really really nice. I think this same access, the knapsack rucksack, they have it as well. But
Right.
again, you see, simple designs, simple designs again.
Yeah.
Um,
I see the back is quilted as well. That's nice.
oh yeah, it is in the back. In the back, yeah.
I wonder if that's insulated too. Is it? I wonder if
No,
they.
it's not. It's not.
Okay.
It's just quilted in the with the to give some cushioning for the back and comfort for against your back because you have
Okay.
and the inside is actually all quilted as well.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Yeah,
beautiful. Okay.
yeah,
That's a nice
yeah.
little
So
design.
this Filson, I don't think they make this anymore. You can find them on eBay maybe,
Okay.
but they don't make this. They don't make this one either anymore, unfortunately. They
Oh,
do still sell the briefcases because that's like a hit. Everyone wants one of those.
yeah, they do.
But they had this one on sale recently, the big rucksack.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah, and
so
I'm looking up tin cloth. So tin cloth is Filson's signature waxed cotton that outperforms and outlasts the competition. It's an oil finished tin cloth. It comes from British Milleraine, pioneers of waxing cotton. and it's 14 ounces per square yard. It's twice the weight of
Yep.
its imitators. Its uncommonly tight weave makes it dense and water resistant with outstanding tear strength. So
Yep, that's it.
there you go. Tin
So
cloth.
it's a British Millerain stuff, and then
Yeah.
the bridal leather. I don't really know who makes this
Yeah.
bridal leather for them, but it's really unique as well, and
Hey,
it's a signature thing from Filson.
yeah. On Bleu De Chauffe's website, they said that their bridal leather is sourced from Italy and France. I assume they alternate maybe tanneries depending on availability and such. Like I was showing before, like with my the backpack that I'm in the process of making, tanneries can often achieve similar results, right? Like this Wicket and Craig Latigo, you contrast that with, I might be wrong, but I believe this is a Horween leather. I think this is 14 ounces thick. If you told
It's
me these
not it's
came from the same tannery, to the feel, they both feel very much like the same thing. So tanneries are able to make stuff similar to one another, duplicate. And so it could just come down to things like availability, what they have cranking out at the time. Like I said, when I'm shopping for leather, wax flesh is often sold out. It's a very popular leather, very difficult to get in a lot of cases. So when I see it, I buy some. Chrome Excel, extremely easy to get because Horween's just cranking it out all the time. It's a very high demand. And so, yeah, but my point is being like, so for example, like this old German veg tan harness leather, so much time has gone by and it's so dried out that I'd be worried about this cracking almost. I'd want to, this is a case where I would recommend conditioning, right? But if you compare this to say the veg tan on another one, this is
Oh
another
wow.
German army one. This, but it's not a
Oh wow.
yeah.
Nice. I think we can pair that with a nice brass boot from Grandstone,
Yeah.
the hairy ones.
Yes, the hairy ones, the bronze rough outer.
Bronze. Yeah.
But so much time has gone by. Really, I don't. I think what I'm trying to get at is you have a hide. It starts out really thick. The tannery shaves it down in a lot of cases. Typically for a boot, they're shaving it down. They're going for about 6 ounces for like your standard nicks. You're talking about a 6 ounce thickness. But for a harness leather, you leave a lot of that grain in there so that you have a thicker leather, and so you have a nice, robust. Like here, let me
That is really thick.
yeah, let me gauge this here. So this is 10 ounces, at which point I would consider that a harness leather, harness grade at least. Somebody etched what I assume is their name onto there. Let me see.
I see. Barely.
Ugh,
Yeah, there.
there it is. Kaufmail Frau. Yeah, sorry, my laptop's probably not the camera. Point being, tanneries specialize in different things, but in a broad stroke, you can get thick leather from any tannery. Sometimes it just comes down to knowing somebody there and saying, "Hey, can you get me a 10 ounce harness, a 12 ounce, a 14
What is
ounce?"
what's your preference in terms of thickness for backpacks?
For my preference would probably be for the Scout model. I'm going for 10 ounce because I want stand up. Uh, I want 10
Oh
ounce.
yeah, that's important. None of the backpacks that I've shown you today can stand up by itself. None of them.
Right. Right. And so to give a visual what I'm talking about, this is sorry, Wicket and Craig natural
Was that the one that you took to the boot camp?
um I think I took it to one of them. I might have had this at this year's boot camp. I
Right.
can't remember. Um, but this Latigo, it stands up by itself, right? I didn't add any structure to it to get it. Like I could set it down on the ground and it will stand up. So this is, I believe this is between 10 and 12 ounces thickness. This is also the same stuff that I make my Veg Tan medium weight insoles out of. But you contrast that with the British Tan double shot. This is 5.5 ounces. So you see how floppy that is. That's half the thickness of the body, Meaning it's there's some advantages. It's much more malleable, and
And
when,
for the use, for the flap specifically, it works.
yes, for the flap, absolutely it works. For my roll top backpacks, this is my expedition backpack. I'm going for more 6 to 7 ounces. I want it to be more malleable because the roll top has to be able to fold down. If I was trying to make a roll top out of, say, this this Horween chocolate leather,
Oh
like
yeah, you can't. No.
it's a board, right?
Yeah,
I
exactly. Yeah.
like it's got just too much stand up. It wouldn't be able to fold down as easily. In fact, let me. Okay, yeah, so that's 11 ounces on the chocolate and 10.5 ounces on the olive. And so this is obviously this has to be a scout. This has to turn into a scout backpack, which would not be a top
Nice.
enclosure. So it's just a stiff board, you know?
Same thing happens with cotton. If you want more structure, you have to use a different weaving for the cotton. For instance, if you want more temper, you will have to go for the twill
Yeah,
cotton, right? It's just this. I don't know if you can see this, but there are lines. The way the fabric is made, you see that? The
yeah,
lines?
yeah.
It gives more structure, so you can use that for the body. But if you want to go for the roll top, then to have a roll top backpack made out of rugged twill is
Mhm.
not that convenient because you don't have this flexibility to go here and do this. And
Right.
again, it doesn't mean it's stronger or less resistance,
Yeah.
maybe abrasion resistance.
Mhm.
This canvas from Bradley Mountain, it's tough, really tough, but again, it's very malleable.
Yes. I see
And
that.
so choosing the right materials for the backpack or bag, it's an art.
It is.
You really have to know the craft, and that's I have to say, I mean, only experience will give you that. And in your case, you're gaining that experience, right? You're
Yeah.
just experimenting with leathers and
Yeah.
understanding the character of each leather.
Absolutely. So, like, what you're saying is absolutely spot on. Like, a lot of the times I'm in uncharted territory. So when I'm building this, like this enclosure strap here, I had to skive this down to get it to go through the roller buckle,
You see? Yeah.
and it's still very difficult. I might have to skive this down more. You just have to work with it. I wanted to keep it as, the 11-ounce thickness, but it would not go through. It simply would not. It would not let me push it through. It just comes down to, yeah, experience. Most people, like when I was talking to William at Boots Buy, he was trying to make the best sock he could, and he was going to these different wool makers, and he's like, "Hey, could I make a wool that's the toughest wool?" And they're like, "Yeah, but nobody makes that because it's just too overbuilt." And he's like, "Well, what if I want to make it overbuilt?" And so he had to kind of force their hand and say, "No, I want my socks to be overbuilt. I want my wool to be the toughest wool. I want you to, you know, overbuild this stuff." And that's, sometimes it's that naivete that leads to new discoveries, right? It's not knowledge that always leads to new discoveries. I might have been a heritage bag maker who inherited bag making from my grandpa's grandpa, and we've
Right.
just been doing it this way
You,
for
you have the recipe where you have the recipe for doing
yes,
things, but you're
yes,
creating your own recipe,
right,
which I admire that, man.
yeah,
Congratulations. Keep on. I will get one of your backpacks. And we will have this conversation later, but I really want to choose the right leathers for the right purposes.
yeah, absolutely, man,
I
yeah,
I I only have one backpack 100% leather right now. That's the Bleu De Chauffe. The rest are a combination between cotton and leather.
yeah,
But I'm dreaming of, getting one of maybe the Scout. The Scout is the one with the flap, right?
yes, yes,
Yeah, with the flap. Yeah, because I already have too many roll tops, and again, I'm kind of in my interaction with the environment. I am always going to the corporate kind of environment, so I
yeah,
don't want to be too, the out of place with Like I can't take as much as I want to. I can't go with a biographer to
Yeah.
a formal meeting with a client. For
Right.
that, I'm gonna have to go with with the Filson briefcase or the
Yeah.
Bleu De Chauffe leathers, but maybe one of yours
Yeah.
can fit that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we could dress it up. And in terms of like ordering from me, like I've learned a lot since starting doing this. I gotta say, like over the majority of my channel now is video content. I feel like that's kind of what I'm good at, and that's kind of what people find useful. I love making backpacks, and I'll love to make you a bag. But yeah, I have some people, they tell me, hey, I want to put in an order with you, but like I'm gonna be honest, like the video is what takes up the bulk of my work. And so yes, it's like I have some friends, they've expressed guilt, like, sorry, I haven't ordered from you. It's like, don't feel bad about that. Like it takes me months to make one of these. Like
Absolutely, man. I
feel
understand.
bad. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm very proud of these and the designs and stuff like that. And it's fun to do. But in terms of like me selling it, like my recent model for that is I'm just gonna make something that I want, and I'll make a small run batch of it, and then I'll announce it when they're ready. And because I've had
Dude, you are mastering the multiverse. I
yeah
mean, you're a dad, you're a husband, you have a job, you also have boots, now bags. Come on, man. I absolutely get what you're saying.
yeah it's just it's one of those things people feel bad for not ordering from me, and I'm like, no, don't feel bad about that at all. Like it is, I don't want it to turn into one of those situations where you're waiting years for something because it's just not something that I have the capacity to crank out. No,
Oh, so you don't want to get to Gabar's waiting lists
for your wait
for
list.
the oh man,
Exactly.
it was like 4 years now. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
crazy, huh?
Yeah, it's 4 years. And
But I will encourage you to do something though. Have you explored the possibility of making totes?
yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, totes are this is Bradley Mountain's tote. Let me
Oh,
tell you something. There's just something about totes. I don't know what it is.
yeah.
That it's simple, useful. It's just something interesting to have around,
It is.
right?
It is. 100%. Yeah. I made a tote for Allie at the Vintage Feather. I made her one, and then I made a duplicate one that I sold on my website out of veg tan, natural veg tan. And they came out pretty nice. If I'm being honest, my passion is just with the back. I don't know why
I
it's
see. The
the backpack.
backpack. Yeah.
Just love, because like you said at the beginning of the video, I want an accessory that's going to complement my boots. And this just harkens to a time or a lifestyle where people were carrying all their stuff on their backpack, like Utsi, the Iceman, the spaceman. Well, he might have been an alien actually.
Probably. If there is such a thing as space, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If you could get past the firmament, that is. But let's see, he had a backpack on him. Just something so cool about nomadic people in antiquity. I'm so fascinated by their day to day. How did they carry their stuff around? And this to me harkens to a time of like,
I agree.
early
I agree.
1900s
Yep.
when mountaineering was taking off, and the Swiss and the Danish, they were making stuff like this, and it's just a timeless look to me. And then you get into something like this, and it's like, whoa, this is something that I could see existing in almost any era. Like even
Any era.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I could see this going back to the medieval times. So like a king or somebody of high status having something like this,
Let me tell you something. I think out of the ones that you have shown, I think this is my favorite.
This one.
Wow. It's just really unique.
Yeah.
Wow. And again, timeless. You
Yes.
absolutely can see that in the future. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, wow. Look at that opening. Yeah.
Yeah. Opening there. Could slide some stuff in there. That's a permanently open fissure. Um,
Yeah.
and then let's see, I'll show you the body here. So
No, it's
this
very cool.
have two openings, and then I think they call these turnisters, but this isn't the same turnister as the other one that I showed. That has that's designed for radio equipment. This is more, I think, for a German mountaineering troop, and this would be very well suited for carrying
And
your
again, if you compare that with the other one, the dimensions are different, the size. Again, really utilitarian, made for what we're intended for. I mean, it's just practical and again, timeless.
yes,
The materials selected for each one, you see, it's there we go. Yeah, it
yeah,
clearly served, a purpose,
right.
but each one of those.
Yeah, absolutely. What's cool about this is my favorite feature, is down here. It's got these two, these are for just lumbar support. These don't house anything. At least I don't think they do. Or
Is
wait,
that
maybe,
leather? Leather?
yeah, that's leather.
Wow. With filling? Like is there something in between the leather? Is that cushioning or
I don't
something?
actually, let me try to pop this.
Don't break it.
Yeah, I'm trying. Summer, it says C Summer Zurich 43. C Summer
Wow.
Zurich. And then,
Look at that stud. I mean, are you
yeah,
kidding me?
I
I
know.
mean,
I know. It's crazy. I don't know that I don't think this opens out. No, this is stitched to the body. I'm not sure if you see that
yeah,
stitch.
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, that's stitched to the body. So I'm not sure
And
what.
and by the way, that clearly is hand stitched.
Yes, very,
Yeah.
very much so. Yeah, hand stitched. Got the bottom. We got the base straps down here. Yeah, I'm just trying to think what this would be for. I think it's just padding for the lumbar so that
I think so. Again,
doesn't hurt.
clever design.
Yeah,
That equipment was probably very heavy. They
yes,
needed back back weight distribution.
yes. I think
So
I think I just figured it out. It says SOH and there's a cross on it, like a red cross. I wonder if this was a medic's bag. The cross.
probably, yeah, yeah,
So possibly to hold medical
makes
equipment.
sense. Makes sense.
Yeah,
So in terms of weight distribution, what I see now, it's for instance in this pack animal that I have,
yeah.
they do have this system up here for weight distribution. You see this extra strap here that you can adjust in the top. So you have this adjustment, but then you have this one in the top. And
Okay.
again, this is inspired by those mountaineering backpacks that you were showing
Yeah.
before. I mean, this thing was really well thought. Was again with intent, with a purpose. Is not cosmetic, as you can find many backpacks today in bags. It's not a
Sure.
cosmetic thing. It's really intended for that.
Yeah.
Um, I wanted to show you something else before
Yeah.
we go, and it is I used to love, and I still do, Tumi, right? It's a
Okay.
commercial, it's a fashion brand right now,
Yeah. To me.
but I do have a couple of pieces that are, I think, a little bit more historical, and they are made out of full grain leather, both of them. And
Okay.
those are these, I think they're called the Billy messenger bag or something.
Oh
This
wow.
is full grain leather. It's my name here and everything. I love
Nice.
that this about to me. But this
Cool.
distressed leather is
Wow.
just, you see, I still have this. I mean, I really take care of my stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
This computer up. Okay. Here we go. All right. The
so
tube bag. Sorry about that.
one of my first love brands, right? The ones that I felt for long time ago was Tumi. I thought
Okay.
they did amazing backpacks and bags and stuff. And they have this heritage line. They don't do it anymore, I guess, where in which they used very high quality leather.
Mhm.
And I still have these two pieces made out of full grain leather. This is the I think this is called the Billy or Billy messenger bag or something. It's a pebbled, distressed leather, is a full grain leather. And what it's nice about it is that it says in the interior leather tag that this is made with artisans traditions, right? And completely handmade. So this line is out of stock and you can't find it anymore. I have two. I have a black one and then a brown one, and I
Okay.
always use it as an EDC bag, right? I just loved it. I
Mhm.
wanted to share that with you, and maybe two or three honorable mentions
Yeah,
that I
definitely.
think it's important to keep an eye on those. One of those is Waterfield, made in San Francisco. They do amazing work with
Okay.
wax canvas as well and leather.
Okay.
Waterfield, and of course Cravar uh, leather bags and backpacks. They do awesome stuff as well.
Okay.
Um, yeah, Cravar. I think Nick from Stritewise, he has reviewed, and I think Take has reviewed Cravar before as well. Um,
Okay. Yeah, there's Waterfield. I hadn't heard of
yeah,
them actually. That's
very
very nice.
nice, very nice. They combine old materials with new ones, right? Which is cool. They use of also nylon and ripstop. Exactly. You see.
Yeah.
But again, that wax canvas, that all time, bedge tan and chrome tan leather, it's always a good material to do stuff that will last forever.
Right.
And they do awesome. As well as Cravar. Yeah. Oh yeah,
Okay,
that's
yeah.
nice.
Let me
That's
pull
really
up
nice.
Cravar,
Yeah.
Var, however they say it.
I think it's Cravar, but I don't really know how to pronounce that one.
Okay. Oh, how
So
do you spell it? Crow.
so that would be Cravar, Cravar.
Okay. Oh yeah, I follow them. Ooh, very
Yeah,
nice.
very nice. And for the price point, I mean, the value, they do great backpacks using full grain leather for,
Yeah.
yeah, you see? Yeah.
Awesome.
And so from Nick and watching Nick from Stritewise talking about that one of the main features is that they only use leather. They don't use like any other hardware, which then has
Yeah.
a silencing effect on the backpack. You're walking around with the bag or the backpack, it's not making any noise. But for the hardware clicking or scratching stuff, it's just cool. Just those honorable mentions, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Super cool.
awesome. Yeah, yeah, I love them.
Wow.
I don't own any Cravar or
Mhm.
or a Waterfield still, but I know they do great products. In fact, I always watch Carryology on
Mhm.
YouTube.
Okay.
Carryology, there's this reviews about bags and backpacks, and there's
Okay.
always a mention of these backpacks and bags on their reviews. And I follow this guy, Chase Reeves.
Okay.
He's hilarious, by the way, and he's really for a long time on YouTube. He specialized on backpacks and bags, and he did really cool reviews of all of this backpacks, and I learned so much from him, Chase Reeves, in
Okay.
on in YouTube as well. Uh,
Very good. Yeah, I'll look those guys up. Carryology. I haven't heard of either of those.
oh
They're
yeah, these guys, they know their stuff. Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure. Let's see. Yeah, it's funny how many different channels there are out there. Okay, yeah, Carryology. Yeah, I will subscribe to them right now. Very cool. Yeah, it's crazy almost how many channels there are out there. You know what I mean? Like I follow a lot of uh history and religious channels and news channels and UFO channels and all the crazy stuff, right? Because in my off time, I'm not, when I'm working leather, I like to listen to various different things that just capture my attention. But it's crazy. Like I'm still to this day, every day I'm finding new. Once I thought some, I've followed some of these channels for years, and then I'll talk to some of my friends. They're like, "Oh, have you heard of this one?" And it's like, "No." And I go look, and it's like, "Whoa, this guy's been doing this same similar content for just as long." But for some reason, the algorithm never recommended it to me, and I never knew it existed. So it's kind of nuts. There's so many content creators out
So
there.
many, which is good. Yeah.
It's great. It's very great. Yeah, because when I started, like I said, I wanted to dial into stuff that for the sake of posterity, stuff that I just didn't see people doing. But now there's just so many channels. Oh, sorry, my laundry. Hold on, let me pause this real quick. Done. All right. Well, next I want to talk about this World War One, not two, but
Wow.
one German officer cavalry bag. This is a saddle bag of a German officer, apparently.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Wow.
it is so cool. So it's got the hair on hide as well. The hair is sort of shorter compared to the Tornister
Yeah,
backpack.
I see that. I see that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's much shorter, but it's in great condition. And one of the things I really love about it is I don't know if you can see that follicle marks.
I do.
Okay.
Oh, now that's grain right there.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
Oh,
you can
wow.
see
Nice.
some crazy follicle marks on this thing.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the other things I really like about it is this anchor point for the straps. So I don't know exactly how they would have carried this. I assume they would have put it maybe behind the saddle or something, and then possibly that he carried it by hand or
Is
like
it a backpack? Can you put it like can you use it as a backpack or
no, I can't
you
get both
can't?
arms
Yeah.
through it. It's it's not got the capacity.
Yeah.
Um, so so I assume this would have just hitched onto the horse somehow. I just don't know how. But you can see here this anchor point. This is similar to something I do with my straps as well.
Yeah. One D-ring,
Yeah,
three stress points, like
got three rivets.
three
And
rivets. Yeah.
yeah, and it's similar to the way, let's see. Okay, here it is. Here's one of my, yeah, it's a similar,
Exactly. Oh, yeah, it's similar. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see that.
yeah.
So
So
yours is riveted and stitched, both.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's both riveted and stitched. They just did three pretty strong rivets on here, but still,
No stitching, huh? Right.
yeah, yeah, no stitching. But I like it when I can obtain a relic this old. It's probably over 100 years old.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like it when I can see echoes of like sort of what I do now or what other bag makers do now. I
Yeah.
appreciate
Yeah.
that aspect of it is because a lot of this stuff with the design I sort of figured out myself through just troubleshooting, and then to see like some of these old world bags still retaining some of those qualities that to me is really fascinating. And
That's a cool bag. That is a very nice bag. And in the back, you can
yeah,
see that that leather has like a what is that? It's a embossed or something with a rectangle figure.
yeah,
What is that?
that looks like that would have been pressed onto there. Yeah, that's embossed.
Pressed on. Yeah. It's embossed, right? You
Yeah,
see the attention to detail, even though it is a, utilitarian bag, because that's what it is. Again, it served a purpose. That
right.
is kind of nice to have that design element. What about in the inside? How is
Yeah,
the organization in it?
cool. So
Wow.
got a pebble blue or like a baby boot, a powder blue canvas. It's
Nice.
cotton. Yeah, it's very fine. And then it's ribbed here.
Yeah. To help bending.
Yes. And then on the inside it's
Yeah.
got the powder blue canvassing all throughout. And let's see, what's that? Okay, this is just a piece of leather that houses the rivets from the other side from the strap system. And then yeah, it's only one compartment. Oh wait, no, there's a separate compartment
Yeah,
here.
there's a separate one. Yeah.
Yeah, so very neat. Again,
That's easy, easy a briefcase. Oh, and the closing system is underneath.
yes, yes. So you would close it. It's got roller buckles, and you just slip that through, close her up. Old, and yeah, you could see some water staining here.
Yeah. Well, of course, yeah.
Oh,
I
another
mean,
embossed area here.
yeah.
Really crazy. And then the leather on this portion is like it almost looks like a bison. I don't
It
know.
does. It
It,
does, yeah.
yeah, but it looks like it could have
The
been.
pattern, yeah, that pattern, it looks like bison. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And then let's see. Okay, it's got a little damage mark here. I assume from um stress from where from probably friction from the horse riding. It was probably, hitting up against either the
I mean,
horses.
but aside from that, that is a 100% usable, piece. You can just use it every day. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a few things to work on, but still over 100 years old, and there you go. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh, he's crazy. Yeah. Wow.
And yeah, this is part of what I love about it is, the historian in me wants to obtain some of this stuff to be able to compare it to modern iterations. And speaking of modern iterations, so this is one I just did a review on. This is one of my first backpack
Saddle.
loves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that a saddleback?
yeah, and
Wow.
yeah, this is all leather, and this was sort of what I had in mind when I started making bags. Obviously, they're using actually this is Lafarque leather,
Hmm.
and yeah, and you know, it's a little bit more. So it doesn't have the handmade feel. It's a little bit more industrialized, but that's understandable given the scale of their operation. They're a pretty big company, and so yeah, and their owners are super cool, but. Yeah, I really enjoyed their story. Uh, Learning how they how the owner basically got started. He was living in Mexico, and he just found certain random leather workers and asked them if they could make him his dream bag, and it just sort of all started from there. But yeah, you can see a similar
Similar. Yep.
system to the
I mean, that's that's a tank. I mean,
yeah. Oh, it's a tank.
oh man.
Tank. I was
Is it
shocked.
is it heavy?
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Oh,
So, but yeah, this would be a chrome tan leather from Lafarque. So it's not gonna exhibit the same aging as some of these other examples. Veg tan ages, I think, a little bit more gracefully. But that said, it also dries quicker. So as we saw on some of the German tornisters, like some of the straps, they're on the verge of cracking almost. Like they need
yeah. Yeah.
probably some emergency conditioning
Yeah.
on,
Conditioning, yeah.
yeah, on certain portions. But this chrome tan leather, this is never gonna it's gonna take a lot longer to get dry and start cracking on you. So that's one benefit to the modern chrome tanning is it's gonna last longer. Is it gonna age as pretty? No, but it will last longer. So that's one good thing.
And Lafargue has really cool leathers, I have to say.
Oh yeah,
I,
yeah,
I, I
definitely.
yeah, they do great. And I had the opportunity to stop by their booth at the boot camp, and wow, I was impressed. I was like,
Cool.
wow, it's yeah, they have, and of course I had my Thursday boots and with their leather, and it's good. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not as good as maybe a Horween from Excel, but it itself is a good leather.
yeah.
And they're doing a great job, I think. I haven't tried any other product made of Lafargue leather, like backpacks or bags. They have jackets, they have everything, like leather for everything.
Okay.
But maybe in the future I will.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, Yeah, and speaking of the continuum earlier, with leather, there's a continuum as well with industry and scale, right? Lafarque is big, and so I would say that the continuum exists between boutique handmade on one end, and then fully industrialized on the other end. And I'd say Lafarque is definitely on this end on the industrialized scale, right? They're churning out large quantities. They have a big operation, whereas the smaller you get, the more uh handmade boutique feel that you get. That's on the other end of the spectrum. So Horween's like over here. Galloon
Yeah.
is like right here. A lot of those Italian tanneries, they're like in this range. And then you get up to Lafarque. I'd say Lafarque, SB Foot, you know, little little closer to the boutique, but still pretty industrialized. Um, and then to go full blown industrial, let me grab this last one. Oh, all right, so this one's heavy because I have a 20-pound weight in it. This is my GORUCK
Oh,
that
yes.
Nick from Stridewise introduced me to. And I've been
That's the canvas, the wax canvas one, right? The version. What is it?
this I think is pure nylon.
Oh, it's the nylon version because they
Yeah.
do have a wax canvas version of that.
Oh, okay. Okay. I think I have another one over there. I could grab that in a second, but this is the one I've been using. Um,
Oh, wow.
this thing is here, let me see if I can back this up a little bit. Oh, not sure if you okay, yeah.
Yep.
Kind of see it. Um, yeah, this has a 20-pound weight in it. And if you want to get ripped and buff without um going to the gym, like this is what Nick does. He's in super good shape. He wears this around New York City. Like I don't know what weight he has. I have a 20-pound weight in here. And that's about all I need. Um,
Is it comfortable to carry?
it is. It's
Yeah.
it's designed for fitness. So this isn't something that I would recommend for people who are into heritage, but for people who are into the modern fitness solutions, this is really good for that. It's designed by like ex-military, and this is what the weight plate looks like.
Wow.
20
I
pound
see. Yep. Yeah.
anchor.
Heavy
So
stuff.
yeah, it's just got a little slot in there specifically for that, and then other areas, of course, for the rest of the bag. But it feels very good, and for the purposes of fitness, you know,
Perfect.
yeah, I consider this gym equipment essentially. I'm not wearing this for the purposes of looking cool or anything. It's just when I go on my walks, I'll put this on, and yeah, you burn way more calories walking with one of these on, and it also broadens out your chest, your shoulders, it strengthens your core, and yeah, I've been lately for my on my weight loss journey, I've just been trying to walk 15 to 20,000 steps a day.
Nice. Yeah.
The downside is I'm tired all the time because I'm in a constant caloric deficit.
The good side is you're losing weight, but also getting good patina on your boots. You do
Yes.
that with your boots on, right? Right.
Oh yeah, that too. That too. I'm gonna commit to wearing the boots. That is 100% for sure.
Nice.
And yeah, it's so good for health. In fact, I plan to do an update walking video, but um my back pain that I used to have is gone. It is
Gone. Yeah.
gone. And it's because I'm just walking so much. It's almost fixed my back pain. Um, I used to think that, oh, just stand up more at your desk. That never solved anything. I thought, oh, switch to stretchier pants. That does help with the torque on, between the leg and the lumbar region, on your if your pants aren't stretchy, every time you move your leg forward, it's pulling on your lumbar. But even that didn't really fully resolve the issue. But now walking, whoa, it's fixed, like
Nice.
completely fixed. So my recommendation to anybody, 10,000 steps a day minimum. And
Maybe getting some weight with the GORUCK.
Yes.
backpack as well. Yeah.
Yeah, some weight. And even I haven't been using this as much as I should, probably twice a week. The rest of the time I just walk normal, but even then I've noticed, changes in my chest and biceps. It's weird what walking can do. Like you will get jacked if you walk a lot. It's counterintuitive because I don't do weights or anything else. That's like recently it's just been the walking. So
Nice. Good tips. Thank you.
yeah,
The
no
the
problem.
the one they have with the more heritage style is the GR1. It's called the GR1.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, they use this is 21 and 26 liters, and they use um really heavy cotton from it says um oh, it's actually 10.10 ounces Army Duck Martexin wax cotton canvas.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
The
which is
Martexan. Yeah.
also Martexin, yeah, which is another awesome uh maker of that material. They produce very high quality cotton canvas, as
Yes.
well as British Millerain and all of those guys. Yeah.
Right, right. Yeah, I have another one. I think it's the same model. I have another here. Let me grab it real quick. Ugh. Yeah,
Oh, it's brand new.
yeah. So this is the GR1. Huckberry sells this one. This is the 26-liter stash pocket. And once again, all links will be in the description below. But yeah, this one I haven't opened yet. So I'm saving this for a special review. So I want it to
Cool.
be in pristine condition for that. So, but yeah, I mean, I think that it's safe to say we ran the full gamut of from historical bags to mountaineering bags to modern heritage bags to bags that we make ourselves to fitness bags. I mean, we covered it all.
And I'm sure we left out a lot of brands and makers, but this is for the first real boot talk slash backpack bag special edition. This was good, I think.
Very good.
It was good. But it wouldn't be a boot talk without asking you, what are you wearing today?
That's true. Today, Waxy Commander, um, unmarked. Let me see if I could.
Unmarked.
Yeah.
I have that brand on my list for this
Okay.
year.
Very good. Here, yeah, let me see if
But
I
yeah, I see that one. Oh yeah, I saw the review.
okay.
Really cool. I like the pattern. The last.
Absolutely. Beautiful service boot, classic service boot style. And the patina on this, I really lucked out with the Waxy Commander on this because it is just rocking its patina. It's unreal.
Amazing. What I have in mind from Unmarked is the Archie, the monkey boots they have.
Those are really
Really
sweet looking.
intrigued by those. And today I'm wearing, in fact, I just took one out to show you the because to welcome the summertime in Panama, I'm actually using the Truman Woolly Bully Rough Out
Ooh.
from SB Food Tannery. This is a nappy rough out,
Oh,
kind of a sandy color.
yes.
Really cool, really cool. And then on the 79 last,
Okay.
8.5D. This is a nice one. Very comfortable, really cool. It's unlined.
Okay.
But I think the leather is amazing, really
Yeah.
cool. I only have seen this leather, this rough out from SB Tannery used on the Red Wing mock toes. I think they have one of the mock toes made out of this stuff.
Okay.
This
Yeah.
is really cool.
That does look familiar. Yeah, that
Yeah,
is awesome.
yeah. It's
Woo.
low maintenance leather and really, really comfortable.
Yes. Woolly Bully. That was a really intriguing run that they did. I have something similar hanging out right here. Desert Oasis. Truman's and Desert Oasis suede. Not as
I see.
crazy nap, more of a bone color.
Yep,
Absolutely gnarly.
very cool. I like the color.
Yeah, me too. Such a cool color, especially with the contrasting tongue.
Is
I
that
really,
Truman? You said Truman?
yeah, those are Truman's,
Oh,
and then I just love the desert boot look. The Boondocker desert
the
boot.
Boondocker. Absolutely. Yeah. Who's the maker of that one?
Oh, these are Oak Streets.
The Oakstreet.
Yes,
Oakstreet.
and I was gonna bring these into the camera earlier because I just feel like these two would make a great pairing. This Bleu De Chauffe with these Oak Street natural
Absolutely.
Chrome Excel rough out Boondockers. Um, yeah, that could be another boot talk in and of itself. What boots do you pair with what bags?
I'm on, brother.
Yes.
I'm on. Let me know when and we'll do it.
Yeah. So we'll just get the same bags that we showed, and then we'll
Just pair them, yeah.
to go with it. Endless content.
Endless, absolutely. Oh man, thank you so much for this
Yeah,
conversation. I had a blast.
absolutely. Likewise, it's rare that I find somebody to nerd out on backpacks with. So thank you so much. That was a wonderful idea, and I think we should definitely do a follow up here soon. So thank you, my friend, for taking the time today, and
Cheers, brother.
connect here soon. Absolutely. Thank you so much. All right, brother. Have a
Bye.
good one. We'll talk to you next time.